Hi there, Tad Hargrave from Marketing for Hippies, here with another video from my living room. And today's video is about content versus context. So here's the punchline. People don't want any more content, but what they are desperate for is context. The world is full of content now. Any myth that we had that the reason that people did stupid things is a lack of information has hopefully been utterly disproved now. You can go on the internet and you can find answers to pretty much anything. You can find hundreds of answers. You can find lots of different opinions. And of course, this is the joke. Maybe I'll see if I can find this video and post it with this one. But, around diet, people are so, it used to be fats are bad. Now fats are really good. And sugar's bad. No, sugar's good. And, organic is good. No, organic is worse. There's so many different opinions out there and it's easy to get lost. Should we be vegan or should we be eating animal products? And should we be eating raw animal products and raw plant food? And, can we all agree that greens are good? No, greens are not good. You can hear so many different opinions. So of course people get really lost. And what people are craving is something that helps make sense of the madness. Yeah, and my guess is that's probably part of why you do your work, is you found something in it that made sense. Yeah, there was an approach. Either if it's making a product, you found a way to make your product that made sense to you as kind of the best way to go about it. Or if you have a service, you're in the healing arts, you're a life coach, you might have tried a bunch of different things, but then you finally came across something where you said, oh my God, that's it. And maybe you haven't even had that yet, but all willing you will. So the world's a confusing place and we're trying to make sense of it. And, just think about something you're struggling with in your life currently that's not resolved for you. It could be in relationships, could be a health issue, could be financially, could be spiritually. But if you can think about something you're struggling with, and just consider how underwhelming Googling the answer to that is. How immediately overwhelmed you feel, because there's going to be so many different opinions, and a lot of it will be fractionated. Yeah, it'll be, here's how to do this little piece, or here's something about this little specific element of the overall journey, but not the whole journey. So, when people are struggling, I've said this in another video, that there's three things people are craving: empathy, context, and guidance. So first, empathy, just, hey, that sounds terrible. The last one, guidance, here's what I do. But that middle piece is so important, of context. And basically it's the answer to the question, here's why I think you're suffering. Here's what I think it's about. Here's what's keeping you stuck on what I would call island A, where you have the problem or symptom you don't like. Here's what it would take to get to island B. This is what's in the way. These are all the barriers. These are the things you might not have considered. This is why it's hard to leave that island. This is why it's hard to solve the problem. So people really are craving context. And in my ebook, Point of View Marketing, I talk about this and I give a lot of examples. Most, personal growth books are mostly context. Think about the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. There's a context. He's got a whole visual map, the 4 agreements, nonviolent communication, the 4 steps. Yeah. So there's context is really huge. People want to know why. They want a map. Yeah. They want to look at the terrain and say, okay, I'm here and I want to be here, and here's what's in between, and now I can see, and now I see why I've struggled. Now I see why I wasn't able to get there before. Yeah. So people don't want any more information. We went into the information age and just immediately hit overwhelm. More data is not helpful, but more storied understanding, more sense of correlation. People are really, really hungry for this. So this is the thing to think about, is why is it you think that your people are struggling, the people you want to help? And of course, you see this comes back to the niche conversation of actually knowing who you help and not trying to help everyone. Because if you're helping everyone, then how do you give context for their suffering? You can't. You're kind of improvising and making it up on the spot. So for example, in my mentorship program, I can give a few examples from this. One woman who's in the healing arts, she does a lot of ancestral medicine type work, constellation work, shamanic stuff. And of course, these things can help everyone, but that's not particularly useful in marketing. But as we talked, it became clear that, first of all, she'd grown up in a fundamentalist Christian home. And when we spoke about it, I said, how many of your clients that you currently work with, the people who come to you, how many of them have that there, something. It was about 80%. I said, would you be happy if 80% of your clients had that? Yeah. So we've decided to at least experiment focusing on that, right? So you see the difference between, well, I'm struggling with family issues and I've got some health issues coming up. Now you could say, yes, this is about unresolved stuff in the past and we're going to help you deal with that generally, versus you're on Island A and you're realizing, and the particular moment you're in is, oh my God, I thought I'd gotten over this fundamentalism and the fundamentalist conditioning and programming I got as a kid, but I'm still there. Oh God, it's just changed clothes. I joined the activist scene and now I'm still doing the heaven and hell and sinner and save thing, but through activism. Oh God, or through diet, so people are in that moment. So then the context she'd give is, here's why it's hard to get over that programming. Here's what keeps you stuck there. Here's how this kind of conditioning and programming works, and here's how you get free. Does that make sense? It's so much clearer. Another woman in my mentorship program is really focused on people who overgive, who have a tendency to just always, other people's needs matter more than their own. Yeah, kind of collapsing in my language, I'd say. And so again, when we first started, she was doing life coaching generally, help you get your life in balance. But this is much more specific. And so the context she's able to give, I actually can't wait until she gets it on her website. Because we've been working on the point of view and the context. Here's the reasons why people overgive. Here's why it's hard to stop overgiving. Here's what to expect when you try to stop overgiving. Here's a simple process you can do every day to get yourself over overgiving. Here are the core principles in getting over overgiving. You see what I'm saying? It's so much clearer. And I feel like there's another one too. There's that. Oh yeah. No, we'll leave it with that. There's plenty of things you could do. If you want to see something that's up, you can see showgirlawakening.com. It's a woman, Kalita, who's in my mentorship program, helps women with women's empowerment through burlesque, and she's got a really wonderful point of view written up. In fact, if you go to beautyandvirtue.com, another woman, Kasuma, who's in my mentorship program, who makes nighties, and she's got a really well articulated point of view in the context for a product rather than a service. So, okay, I've probably said enough about this, but instead of thinking about how can I just generate content to put out there, ask the question, how can I generate context for people? How can I help their life make more sense for them? How can I help them understand why they are where they are, why it's not their fault? It's a really good question to think about for context. Why is this not their fault? What's the bigger picture of what's happening? And start communicating that. I think you'll be amazed at how much credibility it builds for you, how much more confident people feel about it, and how much your work, and how much more willing they are to spend money. Because people don't spend money unless they feel confident about your work. When you start to share the context, when they can hear what you're saying and say, God, that makes so much sense. That's what we want people to say in response to the things that we share. Oh man, that makes sense. When I do my day-long workshop, the Marketing for Hippies 101, I'll put the link to the video below. That's one of the things people leave saying is, oh my God, this makes so much sense. Now it makes sense why I've struggled with marketing. It makes sense why it's felt so hard. And now I see a way to do it that could, given those things and understandings, that could work and that could actually feel good for me. Yeah, because that's the theme of the day. Island A, marketing feels terrible and gross and shitty. Island B, marketing can actually feel good for you and the person to whom you're marketing. That's the journey. And so then the whole day is me giving context about that, spelling it out, sort of unpacking it, laying down the map. Yeah. So hopefully that's helpful. If you have any questions about this, I know this can be a little abstract, but hopefully those examples helped you. And if you have any questions, put them below or comments, and you never know, it could turn into another video. And if you're watching this on YouTube, first of all, if you're watching this on Facebook, you can like my page, you could share this video. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can share the video, but also you can hit the subscribe button. And you can, it looks like a little bell. If you click on that, you'll get notifications every time I post a video, and why wouldn't you want that? So that's it, I think. Everyone take care. Hope you're having a great day.